Oh, good morning. Good Sunday morning. Um, I'm 2 days deep into my Matteo Mancuso masterclass, and I'll tell you, he has definitely proved to me, at least, that he is definitely the best guitarist in the world. Some of his concepts and techniques are just, I've never seen it before. I've never seen it before, and I've been playing this thing for 62 years. So for me to not see it in that amount of time, uh, it's interesting. I do see a lot of concepts that I do know of, and so in other words, in his right hand alone, he's very finger style. Okay, he does use axis of his thumb and his fingers independently. He uses an awful lot of actually what would be considered almost like a bass guitarist index middle walking thing. And he uses that in both free stroke and in rest stroke. Mostly free stroke if he's climbing. Sorry, I actually used rest stroke, didn't I? I think the reason for that is because he's probably going to stand, his final note, he's going to want ringing. Because you're usually on a destination to something. And then on his descending lines, then he's usually rest stroke. And then another deal that he does, which is really almost like a resguardo, he uses an IMI. Oh, I said that wrong. A, annula, ring finger, medius, middle finger, indicio, index finger. He uses a lot of things like this, so he'll use A, M, I. Then goes back to it's basically that, repeating constantly. A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I. Well, if you do it like that, you're doing triplets, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what he does when he decides he's doing 16th note figures, which almost everything the guy does is in 16th notes or faster, uh, all he does is he just considers where is he starting. So he's broken this down into 3 different patterns. You can do A M I A is one, and then you can consider the next beat will be M I A M. Okay, and then the next beat will be I A M I. So whatever you started with, whatever your starter finger was, you'll finish with it too, right? So A M I A, M I A M, I A M I. It's hard to say them, but that's what's going on. Okay, da 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 da. Right, and so that's just in the right hand techniques alone. That's not exactly where I wanted to go with this video. I wanted to go into, he's got this topic on his arpeggios. And he's got a very interesting concept on that as well. And I'm gonna break it down with just I'm gonna use a D sus4, right? It's not totally D sus4. This is really D7 sus4. Right? And of course, a lot of times we'll resolve that. It's really what I have is I have my 5th on the bass. I have an A. I could have used D. F, C. So there's my 4th. There's my flat 7, and there's my root again, right? So I don't really need to have 2 roots, so that's why I put the 5 in the bass, right? Right. So, but anyways, that's the idea. It's really kind of based off of a dominant 7th chord, right? So if I had A, F sharp, C, D, right? And that's how you resolve it anyways, right? So it's just a little flip-flop of these 2 fingers, right? right? Okay, so that's the sound, that's the harmony that I'm structuring this under. Now here's the arpeggio that Matteo would put on top of this, okay? He would use the chord itself in a second inversion. So in other words, the root's in the middle, five's on the bottom, and three's on the top. And he's actually using the third, okay? But then from that, he goes into this thing he calls a cluster chord, which is really, it's just a chord that has a combination of the second, the fourth, and the flat seventh, which is really kind of like a really usual sus type of sound, right? sus2, sus4, flat 7. So what he does on the top end, he uses 5. So that's how he gets out of here. Da, 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 da. Right? So that was, let me see, I'm going to break it down by note functions, okay? So I got 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 2, flat, sus4. I can go to the 5 again, flat 7. Okay, I can go up here, root again, so right? So there's all these and it's very easy for him to resolve within the framework of the thing too. Right? Right, so I'm taking that out, getting rid of that sus4 and putting in the 3 instead. Right? You have to hear it over the chord choice. Okay, so in this case, like I said, I'm using the D7 sus4. Right? And then slipping into that arpeggio pattern. Arpeggio is just a broken single note chord, right? I'm going through the chord single tone. Da, 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 right? Right? So you can even slip in there. Right? So all these cool little things are coming out of this, and that's what really is mind-boggling to look at. You know, geez, how did I never find this before? You know? Right? So it's just all over the place when you look at it that way. I've never heard it called a cluster chord before. I've always been aware of the sus, you know, like if you look at a suspended pentatonic, there is actually a suspended pentatonic, and it in this case it would be 1, 2, 4, 5, flat 7, back to your 1, do, 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 right? So that's a suspended pentatonic scale. It's 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but it's just made up of root, second, 4, 5, flat 7. So I'm really kind of in that kind of a sound structure going on here. And like I said, I've never heard it called cluster, but you know, hey, Matteo's an Italian guy. And if I was going to an Italian food buffet, then there would be quite a cluster of different varieties of really great dishes of food, too. So it must be an Italian term, cluster. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching, again, as always. And if you like it, subscribe. If you want to hear more, make sure to ring the bell and you'll get notifications. I do teach. I have you can find me at musiclessonsdelivered.com. Okay. And I'm available for house house lessons. I deliver them right directly to your house. That's why it's called Music Lessons Delivered. And that's in the greater South Shore area. And I have a pretty wide circle that I will actually travel. I won't end up in California, no, but I will stay pretty much in this South Shore, New England area. And if you are abroad and you are interested in some lessons, I do have Zoom lessons available as well, and I have great success with that. It works well. I can share there's a lot of good share screen. Zoom has really done its work in making it more music friendly. You can actually play together at the same time. It's not muting one person or the other. You can put it in, it's basically musicians mode, and that helps. And like I said, I can share screens. I could share up, I could probably actually share the Matteo Mancuso's masterclass, because I can stream that. So that would be one technique, one way. So via a Zoom lesson, I could actually tap you into the masterclass. Otherwise, I can't really share it. That's probably the only valid way I could actually share that type of thing, because I can share a website that's streaming. So that's a possibility. And like I say, I really appreciate all the listeners and the viewers that I've been getting, and it's a great community. Sometimes I get a little off track, like I might show pictures of my nature out in my yard, different things. I like to keep my daily life involved in things, and or a lot of times I'll put up students that are doing things, and I like to show their involvement. So like I said, happy Sunday, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and thanks for watching.